This knowledge first he had of time-born men, admitted through a curtain of bright mind that hangs between our thought and absolute sight. He found the occult cave, the mystic door, near to the well of vision in the soul, and entered where the wings of glory brood in the sunlit space where all is forever known. Indifferent to doubt and to belief, avid of the naked real's a single shock, he showed the cord of mind that ties the earth hard and cast away the yoke of matter's law. The body's rules bound not the spirit's powers. When life had stopped its beats, death broke not in. He dared to live when breath and thought were still. Thus could he step into that magic place which few can even glimpse with a hurried glance, lifted for a moment from mind's levered works and the poverty of nature's earthly sight. All that the gods have learned is their self-known. They are in a hidden chamber, closed and mute, are kept the record graphs of the cosmic scribe, and there the tables of the sacred law. There is the book of being's index page. The text and glossary of the Vedic truth are there. The rhythms and meters of the stars, significant of the movements of our fate. The symbol powers of number and of form, and the secret code of the history of the world, and nature's correspondence with the soul are written in the mystic heart of life. In the glow of the spirit's room of memories, he could recover the luminous marginal notes, dotting with light the crabbed, ambiguous scroll, rescue the preamble and the saving clause of the dark agreement by which all is ruled, that rises from material nature's sleep to clothe the everlasting in new shapes. He could read now and interpret anew its strangest symbol letters, scattered abstruse signs, resolve its oracle and its paradox, its riddling phrases and its blindfold terms, the deep oxymorons of its truth's repliques, and recognize as a just necessity its hard conditions for the mighty work. Nature's impossible Herculean toil, only her warlock wisecraft could enforce, its laws of opposition of the gods, its list of inseparable contraries. The dumb great mother, in her cosmic trance, exploiting for creation's joy and pain, infinity's sanction to the birth of form, accepts indomitably to execute the will to know in an inconscient world, the will to live under a reign of death, the thirst for rapture in a heart of flesh, and works out through the appearance of a soul by a miraculous birth in plasm and gas, the mystery of God's covenant with the night. Once more was heard in the still cosmic mind the eternal's promise to his labouring force, inducing the world passion to begin, the cry of birth into mortality, and the opening verse of the tragedy of time. Out of the depths, the world's buried secret rose. He read the original ukase, kept back in the locked archives of the spirit script, and saw the signature and fiery seal of wisdom on the dim power's hooded work, who builds in ignorance the steps of light. A sleeping deity opened the deathless eyes. He saw the unshaped thought in soulless forms, new matter pregnant with spiritual sense. Mind dared the study of the unknowable, life its gestation of the golden child. In the light, flooding thought's blank vacancy, interpreting the universe by soul signs, he read from within the text of the without. The riddle grew plain and lost its sketch obscure. A larger lustre lit the mighty page. A purpose mingled with the whims of time. A meaning met the stumbling pace of chance, and fate revealed a chain of seeing wheel. A conscious wideness filled the old dumb space. In the void, he saw throned the omniscience supreme. A will, a hope immense, now seized his heart. And to discern the superhuman's form, he raised his eyes to unseen spiritual heights, aspiring to bring down a greater world. The glory he had glimpsed must be his own. A brighter, heavenlier sun must soon illume this dusk room with its dark internal stir. The infant soul in its small nursery school need objects meant for a lesson hardly learned, outgrow its early grammar of intellect, and its imitation of earth nature's art. His earthly dialect to God language change. In living symbols, study reality and learn the logic of the infinite. The ideal must be nature's common truth. The body illumined the indwelling God. The heart and mind feel one with all that is. A conscious soul live in a conscious world. As through a mist a sovereign peak is seen, the greatness of the eternal spirit appeared. Exiled in a fragmented universe, amid half semblances of divine peace. These now could serve no more his regal turn. The immortal sprite refused the doom to live, a miser of the scanty bargain made between our littleness and bounded hopes and the compassionate infinitudes. His height repelled the lowness of earth's state. A whiteness discontented with its frame, resiled from poor ascent to nature's terms, the harsh contract spurned, and the diminished leaves. Only beginnings are accomplished here. Our basest matter seems alone complete, an absolute machine without a soul. Or all seems a misfit of half idea, or we settle with the vice of earthly form, a hurried imperfect glimpse of heavenly things. Guesses and travesties of celestial types. Here chaos sorts itself into a world, a brief formation drifting in the void. Apings of knowledge, unfinished arcs of power, flamings of beauty into earthly shapes, love's broken reflexes of unity, swim, fragment mirrorings of a floating sun. A packed assemblies of crude tentative lives are pieced into a desolated whole. There is no perfect answer to our hopes. There are blind voiceless doors that have no key. Thought climbs in vain and brings a borrowed light. Cheated by counterfeits, sold to us in life's mart, our hearts clutch at a forfeited heavenly bliss. There is provender for the mind's satiety. There are thrills of the flesh, but not the soul's desire. Here even the highest rapture time can give is a mimic cry of ungrasped beatitudes, a mutilated statue of ecstasy, a wounded happiness that cannot live, a brief felicity of mind or sense, thrown by the world power to her body's slave, or a simulacrum of enforced delight in the seraglios of ignorance. For all we have acquired soon loses worth, and all disvalued credit in time's bank, imperfections check, drawn on the inconscient. And in consequence dogs every effort made, and chaos waits on every cosmos form. In each success, a seed of failure lies. He saw the doubtfulness of all things here, the incertitude of man's proud, confident thought, the transience of the achievements of his force. A thinking being in an unthinking world, an island in the sea of the unknown. He is a smallness trying to be great, an animal with some instincts of a god. His life a story too common to be told. His needs a number, summing up to naught. His consciousness a torch lit to be quenched. His hope a star above a cradle and grave. And yet a greater destiny may be his, for the eternal spirit is his truth. He can recreate himself and all around, and fashion new the world in which he lives. He, ignorant, is the knower beyond time. He is the self above nature, above fate.